Live from Smitty1.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Take a lap.
What is going on, good people? You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. Your man Smitty here, ready for the championship game weekend. Mahomes versus Burrow. Jimmy Garoppolo versus Matt Stafford. Let's break it all down. We're going to drop not only predictions for this championship weekend and talk about fantasy football and who we're going to be drafting if you're doing daily fantasy, or just in general what you want to know about these players and what they're going to do this weekend. We're going to drop predictions. We're going to drop stats. I'm going to try and project what's going to happen. We're also going to talk about their future. Okay, so we're going to dip into the now and the future, Dynasty, redraft, all of it right now here on the show. And we're doing voicemails. You like my new shirt? Like my new Smitty custom? Debo, baby. Debo's taking it to them in this game. Rams, I really do believe that the Niners can't be stopped right now in terms of getting to the Super Bowl. If it's the Chiefs versus the Niners, red versus red, it's gonna be a tough battle. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, Niners are gonna take it. Niners easily gonna win. But I feel like the Niners have the Rams number. You know, McVay versus Shanahan. As hard as I've been on Shanahan, I admit I've been very upset about Shanahan in the way he's dealt with this Trey Lance situation. I still to this day believe that Trey Lance is the better quarterback. I still to this day believe, maybe not in this game necessarily, unless like Jimmy got hurt, I think Trey would come in and do fine. But of course you're not going to make a swap like that right before this game. But coming out of that regular season win for Trey Lance, why they didn't roll with Trey, I understand you are where you are. I know people are going to say, why would you say Jimmy or Trey over Jimmy when they're in the championship game here, ready to march right into the Super Bowl? I'm telling you, just because you have $100 doesn't mean $200 isn't more attractive. Okay, if there's a $100 bill sitting on the ground, aka Jimmy G, and $200, two $100 bills sitting on the ground, what are you going to pick up? The $100 bill or the $200 bills? Look, Trey Lance is just better, and I think he's going to be magnificent in 2022. But Shanahan still, I need to give more credit. His play calling has been on point. He reeled it back. He was a mess, in the beginning of the year. And there's times up and down he's taken his foot off the gas. Not putting in Trey Lance is still a problem for me in general. But this team is on fire. This team's carrying them. The Niners are carrying not only the ups and downs of Shanahan's season. This whole Niner team is a unit. They just step up. When there's a void or a hole, they fill it. When there's a problem, they solve it. If the offense is not on point, the special teams or defense steps up. This is a team of, I hate to say it, sounds cheesy, but destiny in terms of making it to the Super Bowl. Like, the odds were against the Niners. I doubted them. The odds were against them. They were at, 3 or 4 wins. What was the record? 3-7. I forget what they were at when they were down and out. It was awful. It was ugly. There was no playoff talk. Even on our Quad Box show on Instagram, which we're now on YouTube, youtube.com/thequadbox. We're now on YouTube. Go check it out. Our first show, we had Danny Woodhead on. It was phenomenal. But we talked about this team and how they're a team of destiny. And to overcome what they had overcome, to return to playoff form, to march into the playoffs, to beat the Cowboys, then to beat the Packers in Green Bay in the snow against Aaron Rodgers. Everybody was healthy. Like, that was phenomenal. 3-5. Thank you, Senior Hype. 3-5. It was ugly. There was no shot. But this man right here, Debo, with the boombox, which you gotta love when this team walks out and they've got this boombox and they're walking out and Debo's in the front. And they're just rolling through. Like, it's intimidating. If you're the other team and you see this camaraderie and this unit walking out, they're not scared of nobody. It's not a feel of a team that has a lot of good players and they're going to come. This is a team that's coming for you. They're coming for you. And I've been a part of this Quad Box show, this Niners show, all year long, and I've had my doubts, right? I admit it. But right now, you need to recognize they're a team of destiny to at least get to the big game. Now, whether Mahomes takes him down, we'll see. Whether Burrow takes him down, let's give Burrow his credit too. To be determined. But I don't believe the Rams have it in them to beat this team of destiny that's continued to defy the odds all the way down. And they'll be marching through with the boombox. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you aren't watching pregame Niner stuff, because they got a dude that's holding a boombox that looks exactly like this, Debo in the front, and they literally just jam on their way out of the tunnel, from the locker room to the part of the tunnel that meets the field, and then they just run out. And it's phenomenal. This team is on a whole nother level right now. So we're gonna do some prediction stuff right here in a second. Let me go ahead and quickly take care of some housekeeping issues real quickly. Guys, look, this show's growing big. We're at 10.2 thousand subscribers on YouTube. I appreciate all of you sharing the link, and if you guys could continue to tell everybody you know, including your grandmas, your Uncle Bud, your Uncle Buck, all your friends, tell people about this show. I promise you, the show will get better and better and better, and you will benefit from the word being spread. So please be unselfish with the link and try and bring more and more people in here so they can see what kind of role you have in the fantasy football show and how you've helped make this community become what it is today. So we're going to talk a lot about Mahomes, Burrow. We can talk about the Rams, and Niners, of course, from a dynasty perspective. We can touch on a bunch of different things. That's all right now. The fantasy football show is commencing. Drop your voicemails if you want me to answer them. Here is the instruction.
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
He'll punch you in the throat.
Tell your grandma. Tell your friends. Tell Bob from accounting. Tell everybody. Get them on in here, and let's roll. So drop your voice messages. My voicemail crew, you know what to do. I've got a special chat on Instagram called the live stream voicemail group or whatever, and I think I've got like 10 to 12 spots left in it. If you want in on that, DM me on Instagram, type the word voicemail as the first word in your DM, and then ask me, hey Smitty, toss me in the voicemail group, bro. Toss me in the voicemail group. I want to be a part of this voicemail group, pal. And it's not that I won't go to the other messages and voicemails. I will. But I need one place where I can go and just play a bunch of them in a row. So this is what this voicemail group is. This episode is not brought to you by Coke. It should be. Your man Smitty drinks a lot of Coke. I've been working out like a beast. I'm getting there. We're almost there. I'm not quite ripped yet, but we're getting there. This certainly does not help, but I'm not stopping my Coca-Cola consuming habit that I have. Let me pause this. Attaboys. All right, let's get to it. Mahomes. Let's go to the board. Let's drop some predictions here. We've got KC. Actually, let's put the Bengals on top here. We got Cincinnati versus KC. We've got San Francisco versus the LA Rams. What are we doing here? Joey B. What's Joey Burrow gonna drop in this game, in this contest, in this championship battle between the Bengals and the Chiefs? What is Joey B gonna do from a fantasy football DFS stat perspective? I'm gonna say 3 Bills. I'm going to say he has 3 bills. I'm going to say he has at least 2 tutties. He could have 1 INT. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't be awful. Wouldn't be crazy. But I think 3 and 2 ain't bad. 3 and 2 ain't bad. Senior, get me a deal. You want me to change to Pepsi, bro? You're going to have to get me some kind of sponsorship, Senior. You know what I'm saying, bro? Then we can switch it. First in the building, by the way, Nav. Nav, how do you want me to say your name? I don't know how to say it, I'll be honest. Nav, I've been calling you Nave, but is it Nav? Like, how do I say it, bro? Give me the pronunciation. Champs, what's up? RGB in the house. James in the house. Mealy. Senior. Edit. Dylan. Hazel. Terry. And Big Dog, and so on and so on. Appreciate you all being here. You guys absolutely rock. Joey B. Mixon. We're going to say Mixon drops 110, 1 TD, and we'll call it 4 receptions for 35 yards. Not a bad little day for the boy known as Joey Joseph Mixon. Jamar Chase. We're not going to do every player. We're going to do the top guys. We'll do Higgins. I don't think I'm even going to do like Usama or any better. Okay, so we'll go Chase. 100, 1 TD. Higgins, 85, 1 TD. That is the Bengals organization doing business. Mahomes, 285, 3 tutties. The running game, I guess if I had to combine CEH and Williams and Gore, I would probably say like combined. I don't know that they're gonna have like a massive day. It's the Bengals secondary that's the front seven's not bad, so I would say like probably looking at potentially. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be a huge game on the ground. I think we'll just get 1 TD out of it. I don't know about the yardage. I don't think either are going to be like a 60 or 70 yard runner or anything like that. What's up, John? Johnny Matches. What's up, 49er? You can pronounce it like Savage with an N. Navage? Like Savage? I like that. Navage. Okay, Navage. Navage. Hill, 95 and 1 TD. Kelsey, 80 and 1 TD. And then, Mahomes will get another score somehow. If he runs it in or if he throws it in, I don't know. That's what I'm gonna say on that side of the football. On this, and then who do I think wins? God, I want Joey B to win this game so bad. So bad. I feel like if I'm rooting for the Bengals, guys. 100%. You'll be seeing my stories on Instagram where I'm hyped about touchdowns. So I don't want to hear the conflicting reactions if I say I'm putting money down, probably going to be on KC. Probably going to be on KC to win this game. Doesn't mean I'm not rooting for the Bengals. I am, and I might change my mind last second. Okay. San Francisco. We'll say Jimmy. I think Jimmy's going to have like, what do you guys think? 180 yards? Like, I don't know. 200 yards? 200, 1 TD, 1 INT. Mitchell will probably have, I'm going to say 110 on the ground, 1 TD, and then we'll call it 3 for 20 receiving. He'll have a nice day. Debo will probably have, I'm going to say 95 total yards. and 1 TD. I'm going to say Kittle has 80 yards. Stafford we'll say has 270, 250, 2 TDs, I'm gonna do 1 or 2 INTs. 2 INTs. I think the defense is gonna win this game. 250, you can't see that. 250, 2 TDs, 2 INTs for Stafford. Akers and Michelle are probably going to combine for, we'll say, what's up, media? Does that look right on the San Fran side, media? 3 TDs or 3. This is 3. This is 1 TD. Mitchell has like 20 yards receiving is what I had. Debo, 1 TD. You can't even see that. Let me see. Let me move this over. So Mitchell had 3 for 20, I think I said. We'll go with Mitchell and Akers. I don't think they're going to run. Media, how many rushing yards combined are these two going to have? I don't think they have a rushing touchdown. No should add rushing to Debo. That's total yards for Debo. 95 total yards and a TD. But media, give me Akers, Mitchell, Akers, Michelle total yards together combined rushing. Yeah, Akers looked pretty bad. I think the defense wins this game, by the way. I'll circle my winning pick. Let's go with Cup's gonna have a day, but I don't think Cup can do it by himself. Cup's gonna have 101 TD minimum. And I wouldn't be surprised if Cup had both of Stafford's touchdowns. Like, wouldn't you be surprised if this is 120 and like the 2 TDs, and then you have other combined stats that make up the yardage, but no one grabbing the other score. So we'll say here 170 total rushing yards. That's too much, media. For Michelle and Akers, it's way too much, bro. I'm going to say that combined have like 90 yards rushing. I think the defense wins this game. Give me San Fran versus the Chiefs. This is your Super Bowl right here. These are my stats for this game. Oh, yeah, Odell. I think Odell has about 85 yards sounds about right. 85 yards sounds about right. That is that. Let's see. Dr. Raj was calling me. Let me see. That's it. But if Mitchell has 110 rushing, then 170. No. I'm talking about Michelle and Akers, bro. You said 170. I was talking about that. How do you like my shirt? Look at this, media. Look at my shirt, media. You're live, Dr. Raj, on the Fantasy Football Show. How can we assist you? he deuces out. It was too much. It was too much for him. It was way too much for him. This was too much amazingness for one man to absorb in one shot. He just couldn't handle it. All right. Let's hit some voice messages. Oh, Raj. $75 to $85 combined. That's what I have right here for Michelle and Akers. I have about 90 yards. I have Kupp with 120 and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Odell could get one of those. Like, let's do that for now. Let's be conservative. We'll say 1 TD. We'll say 1 TD. We'll do that. Kupp could have both, but I think that's safe. 250, 2 and 2 INTs. Jimmy G, 200, 1 TD, 1 INT. Jimmy G's not going to win this game. He's going to win based on defense. Defense will win this game. Debo will carry the team as usual. I'm not believing Jimmy G's going to win the game. I don't know that he'll definitely put the team in jeopardy, but I don't want him throwing in the third and fourth quarter. Here's Raj again. What's up, big man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear you. I can't hear shit.
You can't hear me? You can't hear me at all? How you doing, pal?
I'm not home. I'll call back. I was gonna call you for something, but I'll call you back later.
I'll call you. I'm almost off my show in 30 minutes. I'll call you. He's at the airport because he's going to the game. Raj is at the airport. He's traveling. He's about to go to the game. And he's probably checking in about something. We may go live later. I'm not sure if that's what he's talking about for the Quad Box show on YouTube. So I'll let you guys know. Winner of the Cooper Cup League should get a Debo shirt. I can hook that up. You guys want a shirt? Winner of the Cooper Cup 2022 Fantasy League wants one of these bad boys. You want one of these bad boys? We can do that. We can do that, James. That's no problem. This shirt is fire. I'm just going to tell you right now. Voice messages. Let's roll. I will call you after I get off my show, bro. In 29 minutes. All right, here we go. Voice message time. Let's roll.
Yo, Smitty, it's Tanner. Hey, for these championship games this weekend, who is the one MVP for each game that's going to take their team to the Super Bowl? Thanks, brother.
Very good question, Tanner. Very, very good question, pal. I'm going to say Debo's the easy answer, but I think defense is going to be what wins this game. This NFC battle between the Rams and Niners. I think it really comes down to it was special teams last week, right, against the Packers. Neither team had a shot at really winning. One moment. I thought I hit the unmute button. I apologize. That's why I shouldn't mute it. I should just drink my drink on air. Hear the sound of the ice. And I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. I think this game's won by defense. Okay, I think the Niners defense wins this game. Pick six at the beginning of the game or pick six at the end of the game. I don't know which one's going to be the deciding factor, but this team is going to win. This defense is going to win the game. Jimmy G, I don't know, will necessarily put them at risk or anything. He could manage the game well if they're up early. Like let's say it's a pick six at the beginning of the game and the Niners and the Rams are playing from behind the whole game. Jimmy G might manage well. They'll run the ball a ton. The key to winning this game is an early lead and a lot of running to control the clock and to make it so that literally the Rams can't catch up and they're put in a pinch and the pressure's on them. They crumble when the pressure's on them, or they do a good job of almost crumbling. Look what they did in that Tampa game. You know, they almost gave it all away. They almost sold the game at the end, and they look a little nervous. Stafford could get rattled. Play calling gets, altered. So yeah, my bad on the mic. I muted it, and then I thought I unmuted it, but I guess I didn't. Jimmy G will manage the game. On the AFC side, I would say the keys to winning, it's either going to be Burrow or Mahomes. I mean Hill's obviously a factor, but Hill needs Mahomes to do his thing. So it comes down to, can Burrow step up? Can Burrow step up? Can Burrow be as good as Mahomes, toe to toe, kind of like the Josh Allen Mahomes battle? Like, can Joe Burrow step up and say, you know what? Let me show you. So it comes down to Mahomes or Burrow. On the AFC side, it comes down to, I think the entire San Francisco defense as a whole, versus maybe Cooper Kupp if the Rams pull it off. There's a lot of Jeff Garcia rumblings right now. You guys heard about Jeff Garcia?
Hey Smitty, it's Johnny Matches. I'm wondering, do you think the Bengals have a better chance of beating the Chiefs than they would of the Bills? And if you had to give it like 60-40, what % chance do you give the Bengals? Thanks.
Bengals beating the Bills versus the Chiefs. I would say, yeah. Ultimately, the Chiefs won, right? So they're a tougher team. Like, everyone thought that the Chiefs would probably win the game. A lot of people did. The Bills haven't had a great running game the entire season. So they were vulnerable to be one-dimensional. And Singletary may have had a really good production. Like, he scored 6-7 touchdowns in the last 5 games. Before heading into that game, Singletary was on a pace, man. He was having a season. The end of the season was phenomenal. But they still weren't averaging like a ton of yards per carry on the ground. They're potentially capable of being shut down more so, I think, than the Chiefs, because they're still trying to get that running game consistent, and that makes them one-dimensional kind of. So I think that the Bengals would have had a better time against the Bills than they would the Chiefs. I just think that there's just more holes in that Buffalo Bill offense. It's kind of why they lost. Holes in the coaching staff and decision making. Like the Bills, we had Danny Woodhead come on the show, and Danny Woodhead said that the Bills literally called the 3 worst plays you could possibly call. The 3 exact worst plays you could possibly call at the end of the game. And the fact that they just botched it, coaching without not swib kicking it, taking time off the clock. You can't give Mahomes 13 seconds. You kick it out of the end zone, which was ridiculous. Some news is like brewing. I gotta throw my phone over there because it's like vibrating like crazy. They called the 3 worst plays they possibly could call. They didn't swib kick it, which would have made it so there was at least 9 seconds left, which would have, as Danny Woodhead put it on our show yesterday and the day before, it would have put the Chiefs in a much tougher position where they would have to have a Hail Mary, not a field goal. And so there's just horrible coaching decisions that were made, I guess, at the end of that game. Now, you can't complain. The game was phenomenal. The Bills went back and forth with the Chiefs. It was a phenomenal game. So, like, in a sense, how can you really rip on the coaching or play calling when literally it gave us the best game we've ever seen in our entire life? They dropped the ball at the end, but I think that's why the Bengals will want to face the Bills. Is they're a little bit less experienced and capable of maybe screwing up and making bad decisions, especially from the coaching perspective. I would say Cincinnati versus KC, 30% chance of winning that game. I would say it would have been more like a 45% chance of beating the Bills. So not a huge difference, but I think it's definitely would have been a better shot. Why did I throw my phone? I still need it for voicemails. Come on, Smitty.
Hey, Smitty, what's your projection for Mike Williams, depending where he goes in free agency?
Mike Williams. I don't know. That's like throwing a dart at the wall, but let's try it. Mike Williams. Man, where do I see him going? Let me pull up and just stare at some teams here. I'm gonna throw out some interesting spots. I don't know that these will for sure be the landing spots. I don't want New England. That's where I think a wide receiver goes to die. New York, I don't want to see that. Is it possible? Sure. Miami, not unless there's Watson there or something. I don't want to see him go to Miami, especially with Waddle consuming majority of everything there. Bengals, no. Steelers, no. Browns, please no. Ravens, please no. Titans, no. Colts, maybe. Mike Williams to the Colts, I could see that happening. And if they get Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or maybe Jimmy G could go there, but I think Wentz is better than Jimmy G, to be honest, at least from a perspective of feeding fantasy points to a player too. I'd probably say Tyrod Taylor I'd love to see in Indy, but Mike Williams would be not a bad spot. That would not be a bad spot in Indy. I like that. Jacksonville potentially, but I don't know how well that will work. Raiders, no. Chargers, I don't know if they want to try it. I don't know if he would stay. It's an option. Denver, no. Cowboys, no. Philly, potentially. Football team, potentially. And if Wilson or A-Rod landed there. Giants, I could see them trying to bring him in. If I had to predict the most likely spot, New York Giants. I don't know that I like it at all, but I'm just saying that would be likely, but not wanted. Not invited by me. If Aaron Rodgers were staying in Green Bay, imagine Mike Williams in Green Bay. But I do 0% chance in my mind Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay, so take that off the board. But if A-Rod did stay, Mike Williams would be a nice little pull. Vikings, no. Bears, maybe. Lions, maybe. Bucks, maybe. AB's gone. Godwin's going to be gone. That might be a place. I mean, imagine Tom Brady and Mike Williams. So, Giants, Tampa Bay. Carolina, possible, but I don't want it. Falcons, potentially, I don't want it. Rams, no. Cardinals, I mean, it could be interesting. Niners, probably not. Seattle, probably not. There you go. So I'd say likely Tampa, New York Giants. I don't want the Giants, but I do want that Tampa Bay landing spot. I don't know if you guys disagree what you guys have, but those are my thoughts. Okay. Why would the Giants sign Mike Williams? They just spent a ton of money on Kenny G. Have you seen what Kenny G's been doing lately, bro? Have you been watching what Kenny G... Who's Kenny G? Who is Kenny Galladay at this point, bro? Like, you got to make moves. You got to make moves, pal. Kyle, one more.
What's your thoughts on Rashad Penny and Leonard Fournette going into 2022 since they're free agents?
I mean, Fournette I've been seeing go way too high. Way too high. I'd probably say I'd probably say he belongs in the like 4th to 5th drafted player range, not in the 2nd or 3rd. And I have some people that DM me once in a while, like once every month at least, or once every month or half a month. Hey Smitty, what do you think about Fournette at the end of the 1st round? Like I don't understand it. Like, why would you gamble on that? Like, I get he could potentially be that good if he was fed and stayed healthy. I get it. Like, the scenario's there. But, like, there's so many unknowns right now in Tampa. Like, no, thank you. Like, it would feel risky going 4th round, to be honest. Like, I think his ADP will be 4th or 5th round, but it would be risky even doing that. And as for Penny, I think Penny's going to get way overvalued. I like him. The potential's there, but it feels a little like Cordero Patterson. Like, we've had a lot of time. Why hasn't this happened yet? And can we trust it happening now? So, I don't know about Penny. I think Penny's got really good flex appeal, like high-end flex appeal, but I'm not on this train of getting Penny into my running back 2 spot. I'm just not. Like, I'm okay if you want to do it. I'm not going to make anybody take laps for doing it. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna sit back and watch other people play around with the Rashad Penny running back 2 experiment.
Hey Smitty, what are we doing with Michael Carter this offseason for Dynasty? I'm holding. I'm thinking about buying, but I don't think I'm selling.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Hey Smitty, what are we doing with Michael Carter this
I think Michael Carter, he needs to be a high-end running back 2. Call Saul. Wants in the league. Cooper Kupp 2020 Fantasy League. Dropping the $27.99 super chat. Call Saul, you're the man. DM me right now on Instagram if you would, please, and let me know when you've done that, and I will check. DM me right now, pal. Appreciate you, Call Saul. If anybody else wants in the Cooper Kupp Super Duper Cup League, here's the details on it. It's $20 is not an entry fee by any means. It's not a money league. It's prizes. It's things like you're going to get a $150 to $300 Super Bowl ring made by our boys at Custom Fantasy Rings that is like heavy duty jewelry. You're getting potentially one of these Debo shirts, baby. You're also getting the winner of the Cup, the 2022 Cup League, will get an autographed helmet, Hall of Fame helmet by Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. This helmet is beautiful. Beautiful. Unbelievable. So get ready for that. Thank you for the super chat, pal. And here's the details on the league.
I give you Fantasy Cup 2022.
15 rounds. 96 owners. That's 1,440 picks. 8 copies of every player in the player pool.
That means Jonathan Taylor will likely consume all of picks 1 through 8. And Henry and Cup could make up most of picks 9 through 24.
60-minute timer.
This draft could take 80 days to complete.
96 owners, 15 rounds, 8 copies of every player in the player pool.
1 division of 96. 1 winner.
I give you Fantasy Cup 2022.
96 copies. I'm sorry, 96 owners, 8 copies of every player in the player pool. You can't own 1 copy twice, so you can't have 2 JTs. You can't trade for two JTs. You can only own 1 JT at a time. But eight of them exist in the league. So it's like a 12-team league, essentially, feel-wise. 96 picks per round. It's going to take 80 days to complete. 1-hour timer off at midnight to 6 a.m. Pre-draft, so you don't miss your pick. You only get 1 hour to pick. Timer off at midnight to 6 a.m., but if you wake up late and you're on the clock at 7 a.m. to 8, you're going to time out. You can pre-rank. But if everybody were to exhaust the timer, it could take 80 days to complete. So we're going to start drafting June 1. We have about 20 spots left. Again, $20 is not an entry fee of any kind. It's not a money league. It's your way of saying thanks to the show and me saying, hey, guys that are dropping $20 super chats, I need to create an amazing league for those people. And that's what we did. So we did it with the 96-team league 2 years ago. We kind of did with the door leagues, although that wasn't done in the right way, because this way I can show it constantly. It's a public league viewing. We're doing it on myfantasyleague.com, And everybody can view the standings. We can pull it up during the live streams. We're going to talk about it on a weekly basis. It's going to be very, very talked about during the year. The door leagues, we barely mentioned them, and that's on me. I'm rectifying that with this league. So you're going to want to be a part of this league. We're going to talk about it a ton. I want to say we have about 20 spots left. But call Saul. Make sure you DM me and let me know when that DM is sent. Tanner.
Yo, Smitty, it's Tanner.
Actually, Tanner, I think I already got Tanner's question. Carter. High-end running back 3, like flex. Potential low-end running back 2, but very risky running back 2. Like, if he's your running back 2, there's a little risk there. Make sure you're taking that approach with, like, a stacking your wide receivers, quarterback, and running back 1. Like, if you're going cheaper with your running back 2, then I love Carter as your running back 2, especially if you pair him with a bunch of other players. Tanner, I think I got your question already. Cardboard Crew.
Hey, Smitty, got a trade question. Dynasty, 10-man league. Would you trade Stephon Diggs for Joe Burrow and the 103 pick in this year's draft?
Diggs for Burrow and the
one. I would be receiving Burrow in the pick. I'd be getting rid of Diggs. My current receivers are Tyreek Hill, Chase, Jacoby Myers, and I have Mark Andrews as my tight end. Pretty good at running back as well.
I don't know if he said quarterback, but if you have no good quarterback, 1.3 is a pretty good pick. I love to move that into the 1.1 somehow, giving up a future pick, whatever, second rounders. I'm gonna say yeah, I'll probably do that. The 1.3 is pretty good. I like that. 1.3 is pretty good. I would try your hardest to move it to the 1.1 or 1.2. I love having the ability to say, I'm taking whoever I want at 1.1. I don't like the idea of, okay, give me the leftovers. Who's left? So I try and control destiny. But I think I do that. I like Diggs a lot, but in Dynasty, like, look, here's the thing, guys. You're building a Dynasty team. You need to think about who's going to be around for a long time, because you take a guy like Diggs, you might have 2 years with him playing at a high level. You might have 1. I like Diggs. I think he's got an opportunity to be a 2 or 3 year guy for a while, like a top 10 wide receiver for 2 or 3 years. But he could fall off the map. I mean, some even believe, I'm not saying this is how I feel, and I don't know how I feel yet between Gabe Davis and Diggs and how that's going to shake out. I might start getting on I loved Gabe Davis, even a year ago. But he's never put it together, and he finally is putting it together. But is he? We don't know. We think he is. We're not positive. Gabe Davis could be the wide receiver 1 there moving forward. I don't think he will be. I think Diggs still is, but he could be. Like, Diggs could get banged up in the beginning of the year, and then Gabe Davis never let go of that target share. So, Dynasty, you get Burrow for more than a decade, bro. 15 years of Burrow, whereas you get 1 to 2 years of Diggs, and you get the 1.3 home run. That's how you rebuild in Dynasty, to be honest. That is a great move.
Hey, Smitty, what's your opinion on this? How many points should a quarterback get per passing touchdown in a 1-quarterback league? My friends and I argue about this all the time. We can come to no consensus. I play in 3 different leagues, and in each league, the point total is different. One league, a quarterback gets 4 points, the other gets 5, and the last league gets 6 points per touchdown. So clearly there's no consensus on my end. What do you think?
So, great question, Jim, and it doesn't really, the true answer is it doesn't matter. Like, you got to play with what you like. But if you want my opinion, I like 6 point per TD leagues myself. I'm a little older, so that's how I played back in the day, and I do like it. I don't like this whole let's devalue this position, let's then devalue that, and then now we've devalued it too much, so let's add PPR, which was an adjustment for me when it happened back in the day, because I played fantasy for 5, 6, 27 years, something like that. And PPR was new in the early 2000s. It wasn't like people were doing it all the time, and it was an adjustment. And it was like people wanted to devalue running backs, so let's make it PPR. Then they want to give it back to the tight ends. Let's make that 2 points for PPR. Then let's take control of the quarterback value again, and let's do 2 QB league. Now, I like all these for the most part. It's fun. But everyone's trying to adjust everything all the time, you know, and I get it. I love when quarterbacks are overvalued. I'm an early quarterback drafter. I'm a middle round QB dude. You know, that's what we've coined it. Like middle round, 3, 4, 5, 6 round range. I love that range for a quarterback. I'm all about it. In 80% of my leagues, I will own one of Mahomes, Burrow, Josh Allen, or Herbert. In 80% of my leagues, I will own one of those quarterbacks. That's how I roll. That's how I build my teams. You could build it differently. I'm fine with that. You can win 100 different ways. So I don't want to hear how that's bad or good. It's good to do what works for you as an owner. 6 points per TD is fun. It's fun. It's the way I did it when I was younger. I just enjoy it more. But I will say this. You start getting to 5 points and 2 points and weird numbers like that, then the content out there, I'm sorry, who asked this question? Jim? The content out there, Jim, won't match up. You know what I mean? Like when you play in these weird leagues where people, I don't know, they do these weird scoring formats. Like if you run as a quarterback, you get 5 points if you have 4 rushes. And then, you know, you get these extra points here and there that nobody else caters to. How are you going to go out there and get content and consume content around players that these totals make them all over the map at the end of the year? And you ask me, hey, should I make this trade for this trade? And I'm like, yeah, do it, bro. And you're like, but in the scoring format, it makes, you know, this player that's like a 15 wide receiver overall, the number 2 wide receiver. And I'm like, why would you want to play in a league that there's no content to support it? So 5 point, I mean, it's not that big of a difference, but just I would pick 4 or 6. I personally like 6. Most content out there probably caters more toward 4, to be honest. So my preference is a little bit away from that. But I like 6. It's the way I do it. It's the way Dad did it. It's the way I do it. Terry.
Hey guys, for those of y'all that missed the Quadbacks episode on YouTube tonight, y'all missed Silver Rapture asking Danny Woodhead live on YouTube a question. Go on YouTube, subscribe on the Quad Box, and check it out. It's going to be fire.
Appreciate you, Terry. This one's from Silver.
Hey, Smitty. Damn, man. I just sent a good one to your person.
This is funny. Silver asked this question on YouTube last night on the Quad Box.
Hey, what's up, Smitty? Silver Rapture. Hey, what's up, Danny Woodhead? I won the fantasy football championship with you as my running back in like 2004, 2005, catching passes from Drew Brees. And I know you caught passes from Tom Brady. So what do you think? Who throws a better pass out of the backfield, Tom Brady or Drew Brees?
So Silver asked this question of Danny Woodhead, and Danny Woodhead said,
hey, what's up, Smitty? Silver Rapture.
Danny Woodhead said Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Hey, what's up, Danny?
Oh, okay. Let's see here. I think there's a couple more.
Danny, if there was one current rule...
That was for Danny Woodhead. Sorry. Some of these questions are for Danny Woodhead from last night.
Who's going to be the lead back next year? Mitchell? Mostert?
Mitchell or Mostert? Mitchell. But the Niners could bring back Mostert. They may not. If they did, I think they'll use both, but Mostert's good for like 8 to 10 carries, I think. Mitchell's a beast, man. So I like Mostert a lot. He's always had a lot of upside, but I don't know that I trust him from a fantasy perspective, really, until we see him stay healthy and get a job. You know, I think if he comes back to San Francisco, he doesn't have a job that's a starting job. He has a role that's really important, and from a football perspective and a Niner perspective, you're going to love Mostert coming back. Like, that's a great addition. And the way the Niners get hurt at running back, he'll start games, at some point. So I think bringing Mostert back will be huge from a football perspective and a fan perspective for the Niners, but I don't know that he's going to have a starting job, right away.
Are you concerned at all with Mitchell's injuries? Because it seems like he's limited a lot out.
Are you in the can, bro? What's going on here, KJ?
Are you concerned at all with Mitchell's injuries?
Am I concerned with all of Mitchell's injuries as he's on the can. It sounds like you're at like a truck stop restroom as well, with like the cement walls, like the echo. You're definitely dropping a deuce or something at a truck stop, leaving me a message, and I commend that kind of commitment. This dude, I love it. I love how you guys commit to the show. You're on the can, doesn't matter. You're on the can, doesn't matter. Get to work. Drop a voicemail. I'm not concerned about Mitchell yet. I'm not concerned about Mitchell injury-wise yet. I like him.
Hey, Smitty, it's James. So what do you in the quad box think about Brandon Ayuk, not only for this game, but moving forward in the next year?
So I think we answered that one on the quad box yesterday. It was a good question. I love Ayuk. I just don't know how I feel about him yet, consistency-wise. Once Trey's in there, I think he connects with Trey very well, and Ayuk drops I think he's going to be a value. Like, if he's overvalued and he's got to be drafted as a wide receiver 2, I might not be on board. But if he can be your wide receiver 3 rotation until, you figure out whether he is a for sure wide receiver 3 or not, that's a great spot to be in. Because you could have a bunch of guys in that wide receiver 3 rotation until one grabs a hold of it. That's the kind of player I want Ayuk to be for me.
Hey, Smitty, I'm sure you've said it like 500 times. What does Trey Lance do that Jimmy G can't? Like, what does he open up on this offense?
Bro.
What does he improve? And what is his realistic ceiling compared to other NFL quarterbacks? Like, does he have a Russell Wilson ceiling? Look at Kyler Murray. What do you think?
So, great question. Yeah, I talk about this a lot, and a lot of people won't agree with me. But he opens up the offense a ton. He literally is like 8,000 more dimensions of a player. So he's gonna open up like here's Trey. Here's Jimmy. Okay? Jimmy can do this, make these throws in the field. Trey can do this. Shake weight. Trey can do this. I don't know if this pen's going out or if it just needs to be. There we go. I think we're back. He can do this, 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 and then this, and then this, and then this, and this, and this. Do you get my point? When people say Jimmy G's as good, it's laughable. Absolutely laughable. Can the Niners still win with him? The Niners are carrying every vulnerable spot on this team when it needs to be carried. Jimmy can be carried. But are they more dominant with Trey? Would the Niners, here's the thing that I'll never be able to prove. I'll never be able to prove this, and that's okay. This is what I do. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. But if Trey had continued to start from the last win that he had in the regular season, coming out of that what was it, week 18 game, had he week 17, week 18, had he continued to start, I think the Niners would be more dangerous now than they currently are. And I can't prove that. I won't be able to prove that. I may be able to reference it once and if, and Shanahan's in control of this. Shanahan could say, no, we're starting Jimmy G next year. We're bringing him back. We're extending him. That could happen if you win the Super Bowl. And I'm going to be upset. I understand the thinking everybody's going to have. Hey, why try and break up what's working? But who's to say things can't be better? If Trey gets into the lineup in week 1, I think Trey Lance looks so good right away that everybody says, well, shit. Can you imagine what we would have done in the playoffs had we had this man under center? So, it is what it is. We won't know. I think Trey Lance, to me, could be top 5 to 7 for fantasy quarterbacks his first year under center in 2022. Top 5 to 7 fantasy quarterback. It's going to be huge. And Silver, I promised you I would get to your message.
Hey, Smitty, Silver, what's up, bro? Hey, man, PPR. I got pick 9 and pick 12, 29-32. So should I trade pick 29 and pick 32 for pick 11 and 111? I'd end up being 9, 11, 12, and then come back in at 49, 52. What do you think?
This is the last question, and I gotta bounce. Let's play this one more time.
For pick 11 and 1, should I trade pick 29 and pick 32 for pick 11 and 111? I'd end up being 9, 11, 12, and then come back in at 49, 52. What do you think?
So Silver wants to trade 29 and 32 for 11. So you're talking about, God, 29 would be, what player would 29 be? Let's take a look at the current ADP. So according to current ADP data, bro, '29 would be DJ Moore, McLaurin, Higgins, Deontay. So we'll call this, we'll pick players I like. McLaurin and, I mean, there's not a lot of running backs that are around. I mean, Monty, potentially. And then number 11 could be Adams, Cup. Cup will probably go higher, but this is what ADP is showing. This ADP is garbage. There's no good ADP right now. AJ Brown's better. Cup's going, that's garbage. Cup is going to be in the top 5 to 8. We'll put AJ Brown. I mean, that feels like a good player that will probably be drafted there. You could say Chubb or Diggs. So would I rather have AJ Brown or this duo here? This is really kind of a nothing burger. I don't know that AJ Brown's the difference maker. I think what you got to do here is land that running back. So if, like, let's say Javonte could go number 4, or he could fall to this spot. If it's Javonte, then I like it. If it's AJ Brown, I like McLaurin enough to get Monty. So it really depends on if you land that running back there. And I'm a best player available guy, but I'm just telling you that I don't know that I love it if the best player available ends up being a wide receiver. Even though I would take the wide receiver, I wouldn't force it because you made the trade when you're on the clock. If you make the trade and then number 11 sucks for running backs, it sucks for running backs. But it's tough, bro. You know, and yeah, 29, you could say this. Let's do this. Let's say you could get Josh Allen there. You know, if we're going to go that route, then, bro, like, even against Javonte, if this is Josh Allen, that is a boatload right there. And then you could make this guy a crafty pick. It doesn't have to be McLaurin. If you don't like McLaurin, it could be a bunch of different guys. But give me that. Now, do I like Debo? Debo seems to fall. That could be interesting. I love Josh Allen here with one of these picks. Potentially Mahomes or Allen. And then a player I think just is better than just one pick 11. You know what I mean? Josh Allen and Mahomes. That's probably the key, as said in the chat. You guys are right, and I agree with that 100%. The key to these two picks is Josh Allen or Mahomes, because you can't really come up with one player like McLaurin and Allen over Debo. I'm sorry, I love Debo, but that is a big difference maker right there. So I kind of think the key would be to pick running back. Everybody, appreciate you. Like the show on the way out the door. This has been the Friday edition of the Fantasy Football Show. We're live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here on the YouTube channel. So subscribe if you're new. It takes 1 second. Hit the subscribe button. Like the video on the way out. And as always, I reply to every single question I can, like 90% of them, if you ask me a question within the first 24 hours of the video. So ask me a question. We have how many people in here? I don't know, 40 to 60 constantly. Ask a question in the comments of the video, and I will get back to you. I will reply to you. So we should have at least 30 to 50 comments when I'm done here. Peace out. Appreciate you. Don't forget to get your Sleeper U memberships.
Want bold year-round rankings, trade calculators, and bold predictions? Get on over to sleeperu.com.
And also, if I can find the graphic for it, definitely make sure you get on over and where is this at?
It is time for the speed question and answer segment.
It's simple. In the comments below, tell us why you deserve a pizza pie, a $25 gift card to Lou Malnati's, and follow.
I give you Fantasy Cup 2022.
It's giveaway time. Who wants a Lou Malnati's pizza pie?
I do, Smitty. How do I get it?
It's simple. In the comments below, tell us why you deserve a pizza pie, a $25 gift card to Lou Malnati's, and follow your boy Smitty, and then we're going to pick a winner. Right from the comments, we're going to pick a winner. Also, your boy Smitty will be on site, Central and Camelback location in Phoenix, Arizona during the Sunday Chiefs-Bengals game. I'm live streaming my reaction to the game, the entire game on the patio. Come join me. I'm giving away a large deep dish pizza on site, and I want you to join me and watch the game. I love Lou Malnati's pizza. You probably love it already. If you don't know it, you're gonna love it. Comment below, try and win the gift card, and if you're in Phoenix, join me on Sunday. Central Camelback location, let's go. So, I don't know if you guys caught all that, but basically, Saul, DM me, let me see if Saul's DM.
Do you think he's going to stay in Tampa?
DM. God, that's loud. I'm trying to find this DM from Call Saul. I'm going to look for it, Call Saul. Make sure you hear from me in the next, 12 hours or whatever. But guys, I'm going to be at Lou Malnati's in Phoenix. If you're in Arizona, you're in Phoenix, Tempe, Chandler, come visit, come hang out with me. Check my Instagram stories. Go check it out. I've got it on IG. It's one of my most recent posts. It talks all about it if you want to replay that. But I'm going to be at Lou Malnati's live streaming my reaction to the entire Bengal Chief game and leading into that Niner game. And then I'll bail and maybe go live and do some stuff on YouTube as well. But I'm live on YouTube. So if you can't make it to the on-site Lou Malnati's Watch Fest and live stream, you can watch me. So during the Bengal Chief game, tune into the YouTube channel. You'll see your boy Smitty live streaming my whole reaction to the game, the Bengals-Chiefs games. I want everybody there in the YouTube chat, live, watching me live stream this Sunday. I will see you all there. And don't forget, go to smitty1.com right here if you would like to play DFS and play fantasy, Underdog Fantasy. Play Underdog Fantasy. Drop some quiche on this game, because you're going to be watching and you're going to be like, man, why didn't I play a daily fantasy contest? The scoring involved in this Bengal Chief game, why would you not want to have a fantasy team constructed of Bengals and Chiefs and have a DFS lineup going during these games? Go to smitty1.com. The banner will pop right up. You can click on the Underdog Fantasy, sign up. I'll even call you for 15 minutes if you do that. Send me a screenshot, DM, and Instagram that you did it. But go sign up under my link. Go to smitty1.com. If you go there without going to smitty1.com, use code Smitty. You have to use code Smitty. You have to use the link, one or the other. But play DFS. Let's roll.